everybody. We're waiting for the people. I see that Orit and Shani and Yonit are here. Not entirely sure where it will be. Cool, but we'll just wait and see. People are still trying to get in. Mails. We'll just have to see. You may have a message to everybody again. Mike, just if you've got any comments at the moment.
How come?
Oh, they can't answer you.
How are you? I'm just sending everyone a reminder. We've got 2 minutes, so let's wait for them.
Okay. Getting all sorts of calls of people who are finding and how to connect up. So we're just going to wait a second.
Sorry, what you said?
I said we're waiting for people to join up there. People are having trouble connecting up with people from America and from here as well. It's the link to before, so I don't understand why people are not managing.
So no, it's a good thing you sent the sent actually the link. Yoni sent the link to the campus, and people speak Hebrew. It might be problematic.
But I
So I think
invited people individually who could.
just send again the link, the direct link you sent last week
Okay.
to the actual shield.
Hi, good point.
Okay, I'm just going to send you. You still here? How many people from America joined us last time?
2.
Mhm. What we'll do today is we'll go through how to get on the site again. I'll get invitations to everyone who registered again. It will help, but we still with only 4 starters. Thank you already for being so fast. Check again, see if everything is still struggling. I'm going to delete to send to. That's with us now. And if a girl just asked me how to get on, will come in a minute. And Dave says, Avichai, maybe you can help you. So she never registered with eTeacher because she couldn't understand the Hebrew. So she'll talk to me afterwards and I'll talk to her. So Michael's slow.
Howie, I think you should start, and whoever's there is there.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Although we're going to start, if I can just have a show of hands of everyone that can hear me. And I know that you hear, but the question is if you can hear me. To see that Amichai can hear me and that's being. And that Carol's great. Carol's here. Are you hear me? Shani, Niva. Are you here? Great. Shani, we're still waiting for you. And Shani's with us. And Niva, I'm sure that's in a second. Okay, to remind you how to raise your hand on the right hand side. I don't have it on my screen, but right hand side, just above the buttons, you have a hand on the side, and you raise your hand. And once you raise your hand and I see them, please take off your hand. So know that you're not just asking to speak, that you are listening to what I'm saying. So we're going to start today. I want to spend 1 or 2 minutes just talking very briefly about last time and sharing with you outcomes of last lesson. We have quite a few outcomes. As many things that we all shared with each other collaboratively. Also, for the first idea that I just want to show you is that my Facebook page. I'll show you, and here I have the expectations that people wrote. I'd like to read of them basically with the expectations. If people could, I don't think it's important who said what, but it was more important what was said. So people generally spoke about that they'd like to learn about new things. Some people are avid Google Drive users, using study and teaching it for many years. We can still teach it they new. People who are new to the Google Apps page, and we're going to try and help you. What I'd like to use this session is to show you concrete ideas that actually work in our classrooms, in the bridging between the communities. Somebody's streaming, Lynn, and it's using amazing technology to join us on a telephone. Welcome. And it's really it's important for me to teach new things. And if there's anything that we teach that you feel that no, just be us, because there are some people who don't know. I'd like to hear your comments and suggestions as we go along. Somebody wants you to learn. Well, that's what we have to do to develop easy communication tools that will run the school program. We're out to do. Technology is a great way to reach my students. I would love to learn new ways to incorporate technology in our lessons. So that's essentially what we're going to do. I'm going to share this page with all of you so that you see the different expressions of the different people. Okay, the first thing. The second thing is that I share with you, and I'd like to share with you the tech glitch. As the expectations, I'd like to share with you the Know You, which I'm sure you saw. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Wow. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, beginning to know you. And I'm very happy to see that we've got a lot of people from all over the world. I see that most people fill in. I imagine the people that didn't fill it in were people that weren't last lesson. And please take the time to fill in. And if you would, please add a picture. I'm not going to go through this at all, but it's really important that we'd like to share with the information about the people that exist in our course. If you would like to add a comment on any of the pages, I know somebody, or perhaps the person that you're sharing and your partnership with is somebody that you want to share information. So you just need to click on comment. You can write a comment and you can send a comment to Leah. Leah, see that you've got children and so on and so forth. Anything you want to write. Feel free to use this document to communicate with one another, to learn about one another. Our document, this document will go throughout the course. If you have any changes that you want to add, if you have updated pictures, if you feel that you want to add something, please feel free to add this on stage. Okay, and if any other questions, the last thing that I do want to show you is the Google page that you set up for this course. The course page that is becoming Naomi says, it's just Naomi that can't hear me, or that everybody can't hear me. If you can do your hands, please, if there's anyone who can't hear me. No, don't raise your hand if you can hear me. So if everyone can. So Naomi, I think maybe check your speakers. And why you can't hear me, please the volume of your speakers. So this is the site that we've set up, a course outline. I'm not going to go into the information, but I'm just going to say at the beginning that if you've got any questions, any up-to-date information, all the up-to-date information will be up. For example, here's how to get onto today's course. Here is today's lesson. I'll obviously be putting it up later and putting it back on the internet for people to see. And it seems that your network here is not working at all because you don't have a microphone or a headphone. The final thing that I want to show you before I start is the online Doodle page, which I've shared the link with you. Anyone who registered last week, feel on this page to write whatever you want. Some people are in already. A page where you can add graffiti, you can add graffiti, any kind of anecdotes that you know from your teaching, the places you want your niece and I to answer you. And this is the place you feel free to just write what you want. Please don't rub off anything that anyone said, right? Anything. And this will be the page where you can add links, add whatever you want, and it's a simple document in Google. Okay, so we're going to start today with a video. Today we're going to be talking about Google Apps for Education, talking about drawing, talking about presentation, talking about Google Docs, documents, and talking about forms. We'll spend most of the lesson on forms. I'm going to show you one or two things that you may know, some of the things you don't know, and I'm hoping that you'll come out of today feeling enriched. For the first, this task of today, what you do is to do that I'm sharing now. I'm going to show it to you now. I haven't shared it with you yet. That seems to be in, but I'm not going to answer that. The aim of this activity is for us to draw the flag of Israel. Within minutes, please note, there must only be one flag. It has a flagpole and it should be waving in the wind. We've shared this with all of you. I'd like to go in and you'll see what we're doing as we're going along. So the link in the comment, where my computer seems to be working quite slowly today. Link over here, click to the link and alter the page as you're going along. You click on the link on the right. Oops, I sent it to your net. Sorry about that. Again, click the link and clicking on that. As you're going along, having the pictures. You can see at the top quite a lot of people are in. We've got 3 minutes starting from now until 9 o'clock. People can draw the picture. People are already coming in. Here we have a anonymous coyote, an ibex, a skunk, and we have all 9 cats. Other people aren't grabbing the tools. Oh, there we go. We've got someone. We have the coyote coming in and sorry flag. Let's see how we do. Observe silence for the next few minutes because I'd like people to see what's happening. When you have the coyote playing, we also want to see the ibex. So there we go. We've got the cat. It's not important who's doing this. It's if we get this done. The poll in the meantime. Someone cheated. Someone brought a flag. I put a flag. The anonymous buffalo. That's not what we wanted. We wanted to draw the picture. No bringing pictures. I'm smiling at this. But the anonymous buffalo, we're taking out your picture. Flagpole, we'll put a bit of a circle on the flagpole. This is really going well. I'm impressed. We've got another, what time? I said 3 minutes. So we've got 1 minute. We need the last part of the mug getting done. Try and go over. Come on, we can. Whoop, see, come on, guys. Yourselves a round of applause. Whoop, no more moving. We've only got 6 of us in this page. I'm hoping that the other people manage to see what we're doing. But I'm very impressed that you got the flag around. We're able to put this flag up on your Matsumoto, but I think this is a great activity to do with the 2 countries. You can, especially for elementary school, your kids drawing the same picture. Just as a side note, had you gone into the shape and chosen call up the waving flag as opposed to the square flag, but a really nice idea and makes me feel Jewish. You can see I have a webcam. No, you can see I've got a webcam. It's on. It should be on. So that's the first part, and that's the idea of doing this with how we can work collaboratively. As you can see, there are 10 viewers watch the page, and thank you to all of you for following. We move on. Mind you that we've got the doodle page, and anybody who wants to add and change and move along as we go. Okay, so what I like to do is play a video for you now of Google Doc to remind people what it is, and all these videos will be available for you after the lesson. Your document now into your page now, share the content. Should come in a second. Oh, started not coming. my technician's gone. Again, sorry about that. Start that again, sorry. Let's go into the Google search, into the web page. Back at you.
Online spreadsheet, Google Docs, solve your common business problems after the traditional software, and present a credit. Okay, so I'm going to save it. I'm now putting a link up here in the invite. Please go into this link. It's qr.net P2GGK. It's a general knowledge quiz. I need you to do this now. The success of this lesson will be how quickly you fill in this page. What will come up will be, I'll just show you the page. qr.net P2GK, and the questionnaire that you need to fill in. I need you to fill it in as honestly as possible. None of this information will be passed on to a third party. You have absolute word on that, but I need the information so that I can share with you all the tools and tips that we're going to do today. So take the next 10 minutes to fill in the page, and I'll show you what's going to happen after. So I'm with you, and good luck. Do any more because I want you to fill in the answers. You must go into the document yourself. You shouldn't have to annotate this page. You need to go into the document yourself.
Okay, still waiting for responses. I'll show you the answer page just yet, because then you'll be getting the answers from me. But I want to show you the potential outcome. With the people, thank you for correcting the link. For the people that aren't doing this course online, what we're doing is we're filling in a general knowledge quiz, and after that I'm going to show you how to use the information to send information automatically to your pupils, how to check the progress of the pupils automatically, and how to use this kind of document in gathering information. I'm looking for answers, and maybe the questions were a bit difficult, but it would be at your level. I have a prize for the first person who hands in the answers. Oh, there you go. Who you are, but there are some people who've handed in the answers. Well done. People don't know the answer, that means it's great. And I'll provide you with the answers. Very important that everyone answers the questions. I'm going to 5 minutes to make a cup of coffee if you have finished the test. So I can feel your minds all working. I know it's happening. One, Charles, I do know that Amichai and Orit and Anat have called in. Please, I'll tell you that I know that from email, but I'd like to see more people and to the tests. Last, if we must answer the questions to the links, please do. Please answer all the questions as quickly as you can so that I can use the information to show how the Google Docs works. Okay, Abia has sent in her answers. Great. I'm happy to say that there's some people that haven't got all of them right, which means there's things to learn. I'll be able to hopefully teach you 1 or 2 things, and the rest you'll have to learn from your kids and your pupils you teach, and your colleagues. Just waiting for, we've only got 5 answers, 5 people that answers. Please me, I know that this might be frustrating for the people that have filled in this quickly, but it's for me to get the order to Shani, she's handing her, and we're just waiting for some more. To welcome obviously the nice new animals that we've got. We've got the beasts, the red dogs, the blues, the green goats, and the pink dogs. Sure, for those of you who are filling in the form, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Showing some brothers. Choosing for maybe 3 more. Going to your owner who sent in. I'm going to start good working on the test. And so this could be any kind of test, any kind of question for your kids. I'm going to show you a way how to edit this without having to do much calculation. For people, I'm just want to make sure that people are, unfortunately, I can't see if people are doing this at all. Let's see if the answers come in. We'll wait for one more person and then I'm going to have the controls and teach you. And mileage answers. Now we have the Shalom. Okay, guys, I'm now, you may carry on answering the questions. It won't make a difference. I'm going to show you the different results. So what has happened now is the browser. What happened is I used the form and then I produced me with answers. I just want to highlight this. You don't need to see the email. It's not important who answered what. Okay, what is important is that I've got a range of different data, and I can work with this data. Obviously, I did something that could match your level. It obviously matched the level of this form to all the children. And what I do is I'm going to leave this form at the moment. I want to show you a little bit about Google Forms, and I'm into Google Forms and show you what Google Forms can do, and ask you to produce a Google Form. And while doing that, I'm going to have people fill in the information. As we go along, I'm just giving time for people to fill in a bit more information. I'm going back to my closing it. What are Google Forms in education? And if we're looking at Google Forms education, what kind of information can we get from the Google Forms? On a local level in your schools, you can use the Google Forms to talk about quizzes and tests. On a national, international level, you can talk about surveys and polls, and about questionnaires, report backs, and certainly some feedback. For example, we're talking about having a video conference, having 2 communities, open up a Google form and ask the 2 different communities what kind of information, what kind of ideas we should do in the conference. Or alternatively, once you've had the video conference, how did you like the video conference? What suggestions could you in the future? What's important about these Google Forms is that it's asking questions to people, and there's no limit to how many people can answer. All the information is immediately, as you saw, immediately recorded into my Google documents, into my Google Drive. Whatever question you're asking, all the information is caught back into a spreadsheet, and you can use the information. If you saw, for example, the expectations that I put into the Word document, you put those expectations in a Google form, in a questionnaire. I took it out of the Google form into the Google document, the Word document, excuse me. So use Google Forms. Forms can be used free of charge. Unlimited, as I said, an unlimited number of forms and participants. You have various question types, and you'll see the various question types as you had before. And you did see the questions beforehand. The question, I'm just going to show you the different question types that you have. So the first question type you can have is a text where the answer is a text. Different question types that you can have a section where you can choose all of the answers, or a type where you can scroll down and choose one of the answers. Type when you can have one in a text. One where you can only choose one of the answers as opposed to this one where you can choose all of the answers. You can choose the answers or right, working down from the list again. The difference between this answer is that here you can make a bigger paragraph. This would be, for example, if you're writing expectations, comments about sales and so on. The last type that you can have is a type of scale, where how did you think you did on a test, when you did very well, or 5 being not good at all. All this information and when fed into your Google Drive, into your spreadsheet. What's important when I'm talking about grading the papers that the kids are writing in, you have an answer here, for example, how many months at 28 days, and someone writes the number 1, and someone else writes the letter 1, you can't differentiate between the 1 and 1 as a digit. That's why I said here, please fill in the number only in digits and not in letters. I'm going to ask if there are any questions, if anyone wants to ask anything. You can't the top 2 or 3 answers. That's on purpose on the panel. I didn't want you to see the answers yet. Any questions at this stage, please write it in the chat. Yona, you're putting up your hand to say something. I'm going to give you the mic. Was that from before? Yona? No, Yona's not saying anything. I asked if you can add pictures. Yes, you can definitely add pictures. As you can see, I've added in a picture. The general knowledge at the top is the background of this that I chose, and I'll show you how to get into that. We have pictures, and the second thing that you're going to have video. What's important, because you can add a video of something that you filmed in your community, and one can write a paragraph, a passage about the video, or a picture. You can take a still picture, and I'll show you in the next few minutes how to do the form and how to add in a picture and so on. Good tool. What I'd like to just do now is show you the answers of the form. I can't see any of you smacking your head and saying, oh, I should have known that. You'll probably do this quite a bit. Can align while our students write the answers. You can try to align. The thing that I did want to show you is that every time when you're talking about adding a line, you're talking about adding a line in the spreadsheet or adding a line in the questionnaire. If you line in the questionnaire, it's not going to go according to the same order that you have. So you can see here, I've got the name of a color, name of an animal in plural, and then I've got the email, because I like to add the email in afterwards. While you're writing the answers, I can add a line in, I can write in whatever I want, and the answer will just skip next line. So, Amichai, here are the answers. So for the first question, what color was the Poland's white horse? It's obviously white. Now blue horses. How many animals did Moses take into the ark? Moses didn't take any animals into the ark. That would be Noah. And some of you got the answers correct, and some of you didn't. How many said 28 days? I'm going to say that all the months have 20 days. All 12 of them have more. Some have none have less, but some have more. Some have 1, some have 30. Probably hitting your head and going, oh, I should know. Next question: if you take 2 apples from 3 apples, how many apples do you have? You 2 apples away, so you've obviously got 2 apples. These options that were made to make you fail. So please don't leave the lesson now. But it's just trying to show you. I could have asked easy questions, but then I would defeat the object. What's within God more evil than the devil, the poor that the rich need it, and if you eat it, you will do nothing. than God, nothing is more evil than the devil, and so on. I hate because I don't think everyone can see this. Once in every minute, twice in every moment, yet never in 1,000 years. The letter M. I think that's an easy one. Most of you got that correct. As Dalmatian had 3 puppies, Spot, Bonnie, and Fluffy. What's the mother's name? Well done to this person who added in the last. The name is What. And I think What should be with a capital letter, because it's in there. I'm not sure if the program will pick that up. You're a bus driver at the bus stop, and so on and so on. My question is, what is the bus driver's name? The bus driver's name is you. Imagine you are a bus driver, and so on. Questions, you're probably laughing to yourself, you're probably calling your children saying, look how funny I was, look how funny your mommy was, and so on. But I want to show you what I want to do with this information. I want to show you how to add a tool called Flaroo, which at the top, which is going to mark the page for you. Important, it's probably important more for local if you want to do spelling tests, if you want to do for Hebrew teacher and you want to, for example, in the form, word Caleb, and you want them to write dog. This thing called Flaroo can check the get for Flaroo and automatically. What I want to do is show you how Flaroo works and how to add Flaroo. Every form that you have, every spreadsheet that you have, in order for Flaroo to work, you have to install Flaroo. It's a simple process of a few seconds. That's how it works. So click on Flaroo and I click to grade the assignment. And then it says, tell me which columns to check. So that was the colors white horse. That was the question. Name of the color, name of the animal, identify a student, and those questions in the final point. How many animals did Moses take? That for the hard, I'll make it 2 points. After 28 days, we'll make it 1 point. After the rooster, if the rooster is sitting on the very tip of a fish, roosters don't lay eggs, so no eggs will fall. You take 2 apples, I'm going to make the rest 2 points, if I can. Please type email, we'll leave that as identified your student. Once again, the rest of them I'm going to leave as 1 point, except this one. Imagine that you're a bus driver. I'm going to take that as to skip reading because all of you will have different answers. I can check it by myself. What's not important to me will be a bonus question. How to find the test? I'm not going to give this because everyone has their own answer. And the final thing is please type in your name of the city. I'm going to skip grading because all the answers are different. I'm getting here. And it'll ask me which line has the correct answer. I'm not going to say that it's one of yours, but it's probably mine because I have the correct answers. Put them in before. This afternoon when I made the questionnaire, I mean, and I put my answers in. I'm going to continue here. Little elves are going to do it, and in a few seconds, what it does is create a new page, and the grading is complete, and we can see all sorts of things. First of all, we can see that Amichai did phenomenally well. He's obviously been studying. We can see all our grades. We can see how many times each person submitted. And we can see all sorts of other things. I shouldn't be saying who is and who isn't. You're not supposed to see your email. But really not important, guys. The test was made for you to fail. Please, if anyone feels that was done by the first time I did this test, I got 3. So we all have our weaknesses at some point. Your strong points are probably not answering questions made by Howard. The answers were not exactly who answered the what and so on. And another thing that you can do, you can go into Flaroo and view report. You can see which questions were answered, how many submissions, which questions were answered in a better way, and so on. Which this question 9 and question 3 were easier questions, and so on. I can email myself the report if I really want to see what's going on. The best thing about this is that I can, if I go to Flaroo and I do email the grades, I'm going to quickly that this is all recorded. It asks me where do I get the grades from. I do the list of the questions. I'm going to include an answer key so you can use this test to your benefit. To include, hope you enjoyed Yes. And the mail will come to you from me, message to the mail that you send to the church here. Check it now because you'll miss the tag with the email and you'll get that to your email. And thank you for taking part in the test. I hope I didn't make you feel too foolish. This is and so on. What I'd just like to do is show you how to install Flubberoo. If you go to lesson 2, there's a video here showing you how Flubberoo works and how to include Flubberoo in Google Forms. So I include Flubberoo in the forms. Copy of this document. Given sake, let's say this one is not really important. It is, and I go to insert. To do, you could search for Flubberoo. It is one of the featured ones. You can also search for Flubberoo and tell me exactly what Flubberoo means. It will be install, and it asks you if you want to install this the script. It does take a few seconds. Install. It says app needs authorization to run it. Obviously, without the authorization, it won't run. Read the underlying details. I had a problem with Flubberoo posting on my behalf. And once I do close, Flubberoo exists at the top of the page, and you do Flubberoo exactly the same way as you did before. If there are any questions, if you could raise your hand. Perhaps if everything's clear, in the chat. If it's okay, we can go on. More. If it's okay to carry on, please raise your hand. So nothing but and Ona and Amitai, Ronit are ready to carry on. Other people have either left the show because the questions were too difficult or embarrassing. I'm going to carry on. I've got a show of about 5 hands. I'm taking that as good. I'll show you how to build the form from the beginning. Those of you who know, also thought I knew Google Forms, and please go Google edit all sorts of things, and believe me, Google could add something tomorrow. And that's asking, when you write the question, how does Flubberoo know the answers in order to make it? So I'm going to go back to this page. And what the best thing to do, and that is that you answer the questions with the correct answers, answer the test. I suggest you do it before the test starts. So in other words, all the answers in the first row are the correct answers. And then Flubberoo has to regrade the assignment. And it's going to regrade it. Hang on. It's going to ask me which first of all which questions have different points in terms of grades. In other words, Nolan Horse was a hard question, so I can make that 5 or 4 or whatever. If you're in a translation exercise or a haktava, you ask them to a killer, for example, you can take with marks or whatever. Depending on how important the question is, you can grade it. If there's no connection to how important the question is, then just go ahead and all at one point. What's important here is that the answers that aren't clear, one word answers, either skip grading or identifying students. Once in that, you click on continue. See which row is the correct answers, and you choose your row, which is blue horses, and have your name and so on, and you do continue. And that is the grade. Student submissions are still here. You haven't wrapped out your student submissions. You can still go back to them and say, look, Shalom, you wrote this. How did you do it? We've spoken to your parents and so on, and make it fun. Okay, the other thing is I was just asked how to install Clubberoo. I'm going to open up another question, another Canary page. How to do that. I'll just in a random page, a random question there. I'm going to insert for Clubberoo, and then I click on install. To the management. I spoke to my wife about bringing. I don't think she has to bring a copy, but I do ask enroll it in here. Okay, so this says the app needs to authorization to run. You say yes, and you do accept, and Clubberoo is installed again. Well, I'm going to show you that on the site that we prepared, there's a video explaining exactly what I explained to you, and it's slow, and you can pause it and slow it down at any rate. Carol asked if you do need a Gmail account. The beautiful thing here is no, the kids don't need a Gmail account to do this. They need an email account, so you can email the grades, but even if you don't want to send them the grades, anyone with an email account can answer the forms and the information sent to you. So unless you ask for the information. So how do we create the form? And I'm going to take it one step back. I'm going to go into my Gmail, and I'm going to go into these 9 dots, and the 9 dots, applications, and open up Drive. Once on Drive, if you're new to Drive, this part will probably be empty. If you're not new to Drive, we've got a lot of things here. And this here is your Google Drive Cloud. These are all your forms are saved. All your your documents, or presentations and so on. Anything that's been shared with you over here, anything that you've saved, and by the way, you can add music files, video files, pictures, anything you want, you can save up to them. Bear in mind that a normal Gmail account, you've got about 50 to 20 gigs of space. If you have Google Apps for education, you've got 30 gigabytes of space, which is really meaningful. Okay, once I'm over here, I click on Create and Form. First thing and very important thing to do is click the name of the form, and you're going to call it P2G forms. I'm going to why I'm doing that later, but I'm going to call it P2G form. I can use one of the backgrounds. Someone asked before, can I get a picture? I suggest that you choose a simple background picture. I got a little bit too busy. I the blue form. And so unfortunately, you can't see the form. If you can preview it at any time, view live form. Avia asked if it's possible to create files in OneDrive, but it definitely is. I'll say it a little later. I'm just going to write me a note. Create files, and I'll show you how to do that. You talk about files, you're talking about folders or files. We just put that back in the chat. Okay, so our first question is, and I suggest that you think logically of how you want this to come out, just for form's sake and for your data afterwards, but it really doesn't matter in what order, because you can move things. So the question is your name. Ask for the name, especially when we talk about elementary school kids, but in case it's important that I get the name for the activity that I'm going to do. Once I've chosen the name, here are all the options that I can choose to make the form. For example, the text, paragraph text, multiple choice. I remind you, multiple choice is that you can choose one other. You can choose more than one. List, where you can have a list of over 20. You can have. I put all my teachers in the list. You can have at least 50, and I've even put all my kids in the list, which is over 600. It's endless. The scores having from how much do you like this test from 1 to 5 and so on. Okay, so I would like to be putting your Now, this is an important thing. If you want the kids to answer the question, make it a required question, and I'll tell you what this means. Required question, the children have to answer this, because if they don't answer this and they click submit, they won't be able to go on. So it says this is a required question, and you won't be going if you don't click that. So we go back to edit the form. Now is the time that I can add in a picture. A picture is a little bit tricky, and I'm going to show you the 2 or 3 options that you can use. So click add an item, all sort of thing that I can add, and the thing is an image. Now, what happens when I open up the image? I can upload a picture. How does the picture come from uploaded? Because I've downloaded the picture from the internet before. I've saved the picture onto my desktop. Be aware of pictures that are Creative Commons. Creative Commons are pictures that are free to use, as the pictures that are copyrighted. And important is that I suggest that you use your own pictures as much as possible, or look for sites that are got the little sign Creative Commons next to it. Or you can pick the picture by Earl, which is the unique address of the picture, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's say I go into Google. I'm looking for Google Forms. Looking for images of Google Forms, and I want to take this picture. So what I do is I go into the picture, and I click on the picture, and I click the copy link address. Sorry, image URL. Sorry, not the link address, copy image URL. Go back to my test. I'll go back to my test. Go for test. Things open. Let me just close a few things there. I'm told that I've got a serious pages. Sorry, let's go back to mine. Okay, and I'm going to add the picture again. Add by URL, and I put URL and it's in the picture for me. If you put in the URL, I don't know, we'll probably be copying pictures that exist on the internet, but there are all sorts of issues with the copying pictures that exist on the internet. I'm sure I don't have to go into that. Now look at the form, review the live form. We see that the name comes before the Google form. It's something that I want, so I'm going to go back to edit the form. Just shift it up one page smaller by holding the control key down. I'm going to lift it up one. If you do this, I have to do this a few times. So what I'm going to do is eventually. Okay, now I'm going to make the page bigger so you can all see it. So now we've got the name, and I'm going to add another item. What I'd like you to add is address your form. Now I'm going to add a paragraph text, and I want to give this, and what I want you to add is what is your form about. I'd like you to just tell me in a few words what your form is about. Paragraph text. Yeah. Okay. What I'm doing now is I'm going to share the link of this form in the chat area. What I'd like you to do, please, is go into your Google account and get a form of 5 questions, probably with all different forms of questions, and just relate it to something that's important to you. It could be collecting names of kids in your class, collecting names of kids going on outing, collecting data from your local community. It could be collecting data from your parents, asking your parents different issues that your child had for anything that you want. Learn that if you send out a form, the result of the form is seen by you, anyone you share with it. If you don't share the form, the form remains private. Private Gmail account. If anyone else has access to your Gmail account, you need to show that they don't. So, can I just have a raise of hands if you know what to do? After you just create a form of 5 questions, once you created the form, you put the address of the form in it, so the form, write your name over here, and what is your form about. And then I'm going to just show a few of the forms that people have made. And if there is anyone with any questions, now is the time to ask. I'm going to take a 5-minute break just to go and get a drink of water while you guys are doing this. The form is going to be shared in text in the chat at the moment as we speak. And I'll be able to show you as you're coming along, as people are giving their forms. In their forms, you can click on the address and see the different forms that they're making. So I'm switching over here just to show that on. I'll back in a second. Okay, what you need to do is copy the address of your form from the page. Once you do, I'll just show that again. You have finished the form, you go to View Live Form, you copy this address at the top of the page and put it into the form. Okay, at the top of the page, you copy the address and come to the address form. And how to create the form, what you need to do is you need to go in Gmail. Just get that. What is, maybe I can move that. You go into your Gmail, into the Google Apps, and you click on the Drive. You can create a form. Start creating the form. First thing you do is you give it a title, use form, and use a theme, and you start asking the question. For the perhaps if it's hard or difficult, anyone, you can just ask 2 questions. I'm just going to show you the results. I think what I'll do is I'll close some of the things that into. Okay, I'm just going to open up a videos page just to show you that this works. You copied my address. Make sure there's a copy of you, the address of your form. and it's not sure which question. You don't have to ask any questions or answer any questions, just to make the question. 3 questions. You can make the name, and ask them a question where you're asking them information from a list. Anything. I just would like you to practice making the forms. That's the most important thing. Actually, thank you. Jenny, my wife, she got away with the camera. This is what I like about teaching at home. Okay, so I'm going to open up Amichai's document. Well done, Amichai. Science teachers training, full name, simple, very good form, nice background. That's exactly what I want. I also something very important. I mentioned this is that Google Israel and Google will sometimes have different time schedules. If you have an issue of you want to add a picture and your Google Forms are in Hebrew, sometimes the Hebrew options aren't altogether up to date with what's happening in English. So what you can do, for example, I'm going to change my settings for a second to Hebrew, just to out of their own thing. Right-hand side, for some reason, maybe it's a little too many things open, maybe you can come here. I'm missing a wheel that offers me settings to change the language. But if you change your language to English, then you'll be able to add the picture. Edit the profile summary. Oh, here we go, language. See, there's something that's new already. This was yesterday, even. To Hebrew. My page, and hopefully it doesn't create too much of a problem. I'm going to go back to the form. I have to reload the page. I'm going to take out the picture. Add another picture in, and separate. We have here, you can add the picture as in Hebrew. And I did something new that wasn't here the last week or so. I'm very impressed. Unfortunately, Google doesn't everything that they put on, well, they certainly don't tell the people. So, let's see. Videos making unity in your house. I'm going to go back to the form to see if anyone else knows me has added a form. Which would you like best? Me, but you've given me the wrong address. Can I take the address from the top of your form? People are copying the address of my form. If you'd like to ask, because I see that people are copying the wrong address, once you've made the form, you copy this address at the top, copy, and bring it into the address of the form. Of my form, your form. You know, if you made a form on another page, you bring it into this page. That's clear. You've made the form, and you've, you know, for me, you don't know enough for me. You've had enough of that, that you can go back and edit the form. I'm just going to make I want it to be back in Hebrew. I don't change it anymore. Change it back into English. Afrikaans, then you probably wouldn't understand. I go back into so what when I've got my information and I've seen the things that people, I can go into topics of form and I do a raw topic and you add another question. With that press and add an item and you can add a question. You can question, you can add another any question that you want to add. So once you've added in the first question, you can add another question and so on. Let's check at the book club. Using my link. Let's see if we can make a link. No, I may have to copy it again. And I'm going to set this as a homework too. Could let people, where do you paste, Shalomit asked, where do you paste your address? You paste your address into the address of your form. If here you write your name and Shlomi, here you type, you paste your address of the form and you write what your form is about. Only let's see, your form should be perfect. Well done. Where is your name? Where do you live? How? Perfect. Okay. Just for short answers, I would use text boxes and not paragraph questions, but that's 100% well done. Here, let's see what you got. Brainstorming about our seminar. Early background, let's share our thoughts and ideas for our planned seminar and so on. And you've got lists, and it's really great. Well done. And that, Naomi, with my address, I think. And okay, 2 minutes, but I just want to do one more thing. My account back to English. You know, I choose English, United Kingdom. I'm still part of the colony of Canada. Don't worry, I'll hyperlink it for you, and it's not a problem. See it again. It's not a problem. If I click on it, it becomes a link. It's not linking for some reason. I don't know. See where it takes us. You've copied the link incorrectly. So ask how to send this form to you. So what you need to do is take the address of your form and into this document here. Write your name here. So your form. You copy it from the top, not this address, but this is the address. You go to your document and copy the form. And what is the form is about? Or it the link here. I'll just copy it from here. and add her to. Someone asked if you can add information while you're talking. I've added in a red dress while people are adding in their information. Or if you even added a picture, practice makes perfect. Anyone has a problem emailing or sending me the link, they can put it in the chat and I'm going to give you 2 more minutes because I want to go on to one last thing before we go. One close documents. Anyone a chance to speak? If anyone wants to take a mic and ask a question, say anything to anyone. Doodle page. Not on the Doodle page, but feel free to try. And Rachel, I'm going to open your mic. You want to say anything? Anything you want to say? Your hands up. I'm just thinking you want to say something. Or okay. All these instructions of the things that we've done today will appear on the site. Maybe the site closer to the end of the session. Again, please try to show the documents on a larger scale. I will try. I'm really sorry that unless you're using your it's really fine. I will try and show the document on a bigger level. If we can just take a second to result to Orna's daughter is having a birthday. Why am I saying that it's really okay if you didn't do this today? I think that already summed up the idea when she practice makes perfect. When you don't touch this for a week or so, you're probably doing yourself a disservice because the more you practice this, the better you'll become. That's what when he got his license. He learned a lot with his license and eventually got it. He started driving, and that's when he started learning how to drive. Learning, as children do, so learning how to deal with it. I am now going to share this, and I want to show you another video, and to show you another way of collaborating. I'm in the forums at the moment. I'm going to do that with some show that on the internet, all over the internet, there are pages and pages of people who explain it, and if I haven't explained it in a good way, so we'll explain it in a different way, maybe in a better way. So I'm going to share with you this video. It's 2 minutes. It's come. Okay, that is quite cute, and I hope you like that video. The idea of it is to show the collaborating, how does the collaborating work. And what I think what the guys didn't realize, or once that Jessica was part of the conversation, she could the history of everybody. Draw your attention once again to the doodle page, and anything that's written here, as I said before, anything that's written here will be seen by everybody. But it's important here, and I think this is one of the vital tools that you can use for collaborating. You to take a group of children from Israel, from our senior school to Washington. I think it would be a great idea if we could open up a Google Docs plan, a Google Docs page like this, and comment. The difference of this, as opposed to sending people a letter and sending a letter back, different saves copies of 1 million of letters, and we don't know what's happening. So let's say, for example, someone writes something here. Teacher, I want to comment. Write something in a different color. Or I could add a comment. Okay, I tell the kids what they want. What I like the comments as opposed to this is that the comment doesn't change the children's document at all. This is used for marking the work, but it can also be used for adding comments and perhaps planning a party together. Each one can add the comments of what they're doing. What else I say is the chat. I see that Rick and Amichai and Naomi or Naomi and Rick, if you could write something now, or Rick or Amichai or Naomi. Okay, listening. I don't know if any of you noticed or heard Yonit say last week, but a year ago, 2 years ago, we were, thank you, Amichai. Amichai something, and you could also write in the chat, or you could shalom on the page. And see we're collaborating online at the same time. And he wrote that, so thank you, Rick. I, Ronit, added a little smiley, and Yonit and I were working together on a document. Probably the kids were working and the kids were chatting, and it was an online chat. And what's beautiful about this chat, it's private, teachers see what's written, and it can be a control. So I'm a very strong believer that any chat between children needs to be monitored by teachers. I think the chat should be open. I see people have joined in the discussion, we have a group discussion, and so on. I've got 5 more minutes where I'd like to ask if any of you have got questions, and then I'd like to just talk about Thursday's lesson, which is an online lesson. And if anyone's got questions, then I'd like to just show you the site again and just remind you where the information is at. So please, you want to raise your hand to ask a question, or you want to type to write a question, now chance. So I've spoken a lot. It's your chance now. No questions from us. Anyone else? Okay. See the type of crowd I've got tonight. And I'd like to just sum up a bit of what we did today. So we started off by looking at the vision. We started looking at the drawing, directly drawing the Magen David on the Israel, the drawing of the Israeli flag. Abir asked if I'm going to write the task for next week on our email. Probably not going to send any more emails. All the information is going to be on the site. I'm going to spend time putting all the information on the site. I will put the address. I'll send the address again to your email, even though it was sent. Please make sure that you check the site. The site will be updated, if not daily, bi-daily. If this word is bi-daily, I've just made that up. And I still got to answer one question about creating files in the Google, which I'll go back to. We spoke about Google Forms link. We spoke about Flabberoo. We spoke about Google. We Docs, and we didn't speak about Google Presentation, but we did in last time. I do want to show you one where the people have started to draw. So go out of this and just share with you a thing to do once you get into your Google Drive. When you're Google Drive and you click on Create, you can have all sorts of types of documents, if this is what you're referring to. You can open up a folder, you can create folders, you can open up documents, presentations, spreadsheets, form, or drawing. How did I open up the drawing to share with you? I opened up the drawing, opened a blank page, and I shared it with all of you. I click on the share, I'm just going to give it a title, share, draw. I've got an option to whoever has the link can document. Anyway, I see all the different types of animals, but they're all anonymous. Or I can actually share, invite people, and here write all your emails. You'll get an email saying that I've shared the document with you, and you can all work on the document collaboratively, which happened here. When I created that in my Google Drive, I've got the shared drawing. As you with the Israeli flag, I think I see everyone's gone out of the Israeli flag, but wow, yes, not everyone's gone out. We've still got a few people buying giraffes and things. My kids have a lot of fun with this. The dictionary with this. The dictionary is 10 cards, and it really is a lot of fun. All the things I've used tonight, I'm using with my kids at school. I created at our school just this time. We created what's called a Schnitzelboard, which is a game where kids produce questionnaires on piece of paper. Each kid produced a Google form, Google questionnaire. So they answered it, they answered straight to the questionnaire with Blubber, the questions and answers. The questions were answered automatically. We're in the process of doing that. I'm willing to share with you the results in the next week or so. It's a lot of fun, and this is Kitab. I'm teaching Kitab Gimel to work with email, and it's not impossible. I think that, in my honest opinion, Google Docs is the way to go for the future. The beauty of this is that if there's electricity cut, or the key or the bell goes and kids have to run out, it's all automatically saved. So that's a big plus. And the final thing that I just want to show you once again is the site, QR.net, PG apps, I can't remember apps, I think, yeah. PG apps, it's that. Apps with S at the end. So what we've got here is the lesson 1, lesson 2, apps for education. You've used forms in Google Docs. You've got the video over here. I'll sum up the lesson. Unit and I should have said will sum up the lesson. Please remember that you've got the online Doodle page where you can only freedom of range to throw graffiti here. Write all sorts of things, chat to people. This page to please, obviously within the borders of reality. Everyone sees this in this course. If you want to add any graffiti, any sort of things, people can choose to read it, people can choose not to read it. What's happening on Thursday? You need to say anything about Thursday? Okay. Thursday we have, we'll place a lesson here. Unit will be available by email, but we will be online. If you want to say anything about this, it will be online, available by email or via the site. Via the site, you can add comments. You can add files if you want to check anything. I think the best thing will be through your email. The topic we will place within the next day or two. The lesson will be finished by 11 o'clock on Thursday evening. Essentially, you're supposed to work on a Thursday, but no one's going to technically be doing on Thursday. Jason should, and I'm talking about lesson not involving you working more than 7. I was talking about the hour. No, I'm kidding. I tell you, as long as you want, it won't be a very long thing, but it needs to have, it might be a bit of checking the sources and using them.
be available, just to add, Howie, that we will be available on the chat the docs. At least.
Okay, you will, yeah. If you have a problem on Thursday, once again, you need to do the work by 11 o'clock Thursday. It can be done anytime up till then. The work will be posted tomorrow. It really doesn't have to be done on Thursday, but will be available for comments and yeah, okay, if you're not there on Thursday, no one's going to check if you're there, but I'll check if you do the work. It's very important that you do the work to get the commode. If there aren't any more questions, I'm just going to hang around for a few more minutes. I'll open the mics of everybody. If someone wants to say anything. Projects are open, so be careful what you say. You don't have to say anything. No rush to speak at the same time. There'll be a massive humor's not working. I thank you for your time, Yonit, and I thank you for your time. And I'm going to say once again, and then maybe to my detriment, that all these videos are online, but there are other videos, and if you don't get an answer from us, which is fine, you feel free to Google search or YouTube search videos, and all this stuff exists. And be careful because Google may change it all tomorrow. Thank you for the great evening. Mazal tov to all the birthdays, Mazal tov to all the people weddings, and we'll see you virtually next Monday. Live from Torah.
Motion. טלפון. זאת משימה? מחר? לא.
I'm a bit alone, so I'm going to go